have something a little different for you today. It's a cookbook that doesn't have pictures, but it is so, so impressive. I wanted to mention it, spend just a couple minutes exploring it with you. It's by Tamar Adler. Something old, something new. Classic recipes revised. She went out and found old recipes, I think there's 100 of them, that we don't normally see on menus anymore, but it used to be quite popular. For example, steak Diane, oysters Rockefeller, cheese and walnut soufflés. And so she is a Vogue and New York Times writer and Chez Panisse alumnus. And she collected 100 recipes from old cookbooks and menus, and she kind of updated them for modern times, usually by adding some type of acid and herbs. So I was glancing through this, like, should I give this back to the library? Should I keep it? There's no pictures, so we're not going to flip through it on Cookbook Divas. And then I started reading her writing, and her writing is amazing, and she's sharing stories of her own life and how people eat and why these recipes came to be. So I thought I would just mention, we'll just go through the table of contents. It starts off with a menu for a simple spring lunch, and there's, just a couple little illustrations. This is when you are famished, hors d'oeuvres. Here's the simple spring lunch. So each season has a little menu. This one, for example, suggests starting with pickled eggs. Yum. Then crispy fish meunier, petit pois à la française, little boiled potatoes, and then you move on to, you're going to serve wine, a light, bright, lively, and barely sweet young white, example, Riesling. And she mentions a certain Riesling from 2015 you should serve, and then for dessert, a tipsy cake. So the first chapter is when you are famished, hors d'oeuvres, and she does a recipe for crudités. Okay, those have not really disappeared from menus. Lime sauce, something called ravigote sauce or ravigote. It doesn't have an accent mark on the E. I've never heard that word. Vegetables a la grecque. I wonder what makes them Greek. Feta, I'm guessing? I don't know. Aubergines in hors d'oeuvre. Some pickled eggs, deviled eggs. Eggs Pierre de Lune Nosrat. A chicken liver a la Tuscan chicken liver. Pickled shrimp. Wow. A gelatina di pomodoro. So tomato gelatin. Oysters Rockefeller. Clams Casino. Filet mignon on toast, for example. Now, soups chapter, herb soup, watercress soup. I have never gone to a restaurant or a dinner party and seen watercress soup on the menu. I'm very curious. Cold cream of tomato soup. A cream of lettuce soup. What? Can you just eat a salad? I'm not sure what's going on there. Maybe there's a reason some things fell off old menus. There's a clam chowder recipe. We still eat clam chowder today, of course, but I'm curious to see how they used to make it and how she's going to modernize it or improve on what we're doing today. Oyster stew, shrimp bisque, potage Billy Bye, clam bouillon for 8 people. Ooh. Egg drop soup. Ooh, okay. And then a growing love chapter is salads. Herb salad, watercress salad, blue cheese salad, crab Louis Dachel, a Waldorf salad but in pieces, anything in pickle salad, an alligator pear salad, which I'm hoping has just pears shaped like it. I don't know. I hope it doesn't have real alligator in it. And avocado vinaigrette. Then menu for a fancy summer dinner. Vegetables, buttered zucchini. We still eat that nowadays. A turnip gratin. I've made that one time. I will never make it again, but maybe her recipe is more delicious. Everyone's cabbage. Potatoes del Monaco. Is that because of the restaurant, I think? Italian cream spinach. 4-day spinach. Fresh beans succotash. Buttered tomatoes on toast. Then to rise like rice, starches and eggs. Crisp rice croquettes, something called macaronade, buckwheat crepes, herb crepes with mushrooms, prairie oyster, oeufs on murette, a way of cooking eggs. Then here's the meat chapter, chicken and leftover wine. I don't ever have leftover wine. Cold deviled chicken, steak tartare, beef bouilli, like bouilli, without the yawn on the end of the word, daube provençal, and then on poverty and oysters is the seafood chapter, crisp fish meunier, fish à la basque, cod à la pilpil, mussel croquettes, salt cod croquettes, steamed clams, well, we still do those, lobster with beurre blanc, shrimp scampi, French creamed oysters. Crying for Cream is the name of the desserts chapter, a walnut souffle, ratafia cream, I've never heard that word said out loud, hazelnut cardamom blancmange, some of us might remember blancmange from Little Women, the book, chilled flower blossom pudding, something called a honey flummery, a chocolate mousse, that's very 1980s, that was my favorite dessert when I was in my teens and 20s. I mean, I still like it. A baked Alaska, which I have not seen on a menu in decades. A plum cake, peaches Melba, crepes Suzette, which I haven't seen flaming in a restaurant for decades. I'm old, yes. And shortbread. And then an alcoholic appendix. So her writing is amazing, and she starts off every chapter kind of talking about the food history, which is the part that makes me really interested in reading this. And she's telling you kind of why you're doing stuff along the way, why you're taking the steps that you are, and kind of where the food was served and why. Oh, it's so interesting. Something old, something new. I haven't read it all the way through. I can't wait to do that. Might be my weekend project. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed our very rare video of a cookbook that doesn't have photographs. Probably won't happen again for a long time. Bye.